What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Pages with Paige, and this is going to be reviewing my hybrid These Books Will Self-Destruct and Trash My TBR. So today we're going to be reviewing the self-destruct crossover Trash My TBR that I posted on the 21st of June last year. Basically, this was created by Becca in the books, so she pulls books off her shelves that then have a 12-month lifespan for them to be read by, and if they're not, then they get unhauled. I combine mine with Emma from Drinking by My Shelf's version of Trash My TBR, so if enough people say keep it, even if I don't read it within that 12 months, I will keep it. So we're gonna go through the video, find out what the book is, and then I will review the comment from the video and say whether it's staying or going. So here we go. I will preface this by saying that Margaret said to get rid of all bar 2, so I will say which ones Margaret said to keep when we get to them, and Jennifer Ocean said to get rid of all of them. So in all technicality, if they don't get no votes, that will be considered a singular vote for them. Considering how little I've read of my other ones, it is basically just figuring out what I'm going to unhaul and what you guys tell me to keep. So fingers crossed I read a lot more than last time, but also it is what it is. Let's talk through what books are going to be self-destructing in 12 months if I don't read them or you tell me to keep them. The first is Hatchet: The Return by Gary Paulson. So the first is Hatchet: The Return, and no votes were given for this, so I'm DNFing the series and this is going. It also fell down the back of my trolley, so I forgot that I had it for about 9 months. Then I have Beautiful Darkness by Kemi Garcia and Margaret Stoll. Prim from Prim's Book Cave said they loved the Castor Chronicles, but probably because it took place near where they were living at the time. Don't know that it's worth most people's time. Crystal from Bomb Book Reviews said, I need you to read the Beautiful series so I can see if I should keep mine. And Minx Laura's 123's Wacky World said, oh, I love the Beautiful Creatures series. With that, I have read this and I will be unhauling it to my parents' place, so I'm not getting rid of it, and I will see how I go with the third one if I continue on and finish the series, but this has been read. Then I have Goodbye Perfect by Sarah Barnard. This didn't get any votes, so this will be going. And it hurts me because I read another Sarah Barnard and that was sort of my goal, was to just read one of them, but this doesn't have an audiobook, so I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, so it's gonna go. But it really hurts because I really enjoyed Sarah Barnard's writing it and I don't think it's at my library, so that's alright. I'm sure it will be going to a better home. Then I'm probably going to be yelled at for this. All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. Got a lot of comments for this one. 3 people said to keep it and 1 said to get rid of it. So Crystal, again from Bomb Book Reviews, Kirsten from Kirsten Craves Books, and Sierra said to keep and do a buddy read, and we did. Rebar said to unhaul it. They didn't get the hype, but with the buddy read with Sierra, I did read it and have decided to unhaul all of Anthony Doerr's works that I had on my shelves, and I'm pretty sure that was in my January massive book haul, which I'll leave linked up. Then the next is Someday by David Leatherton. I'm 116 pages in and have been since near the beginning of the year. I'm gonna give it 6 months to finalize this off, so if it's not done by the end of the year. So we will see if I get to finishing this off or if it will just continue lingering on my shelves. Then I have 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott with Mickey Daltrey and Tobias Lanskin. We had 4 against and 3 keep. So Rebar said that they absolutely loved 5 Feet Apart and have enjoyed all the books that they have written. Victoria Smith said, I haven't heard many reviews, but personally only got about 2 chapters in and then effectively DNF'd it and later unhauled it. Crystal from Bond Book Reviews said, just watch the movie. Bookish Voodoo said that their son said that 5 Feet Apart was really good. I really enjoyed the movie, but haven't brought myself to read the book yet. And writer-author said, I liked 5 Feet Apart. Ash's Adventures in Books said, I definitely unhaul 5 Feet Apart. From what I've heard, the 2 main leads change all their beliefs that they had before they met within the space of a week. Ducky Reed said, 5 Feet Apart, sick fic with the side of burn you gaze. I unhauled. And so for that, because there were 4 against and 3 for keeping. I will be unhauling this. Then I have Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. Victoria Smith again said, I know my sister had said that Warm Bodies is a bit of a drag compared to the movie, but I've never read it. And Kaz from Cats and Camera said, I rated Warm Bodies 3 stars. It was fine, but it's not a book that I would say you have to read and will love. If you've seen the film, then I don't think the book is anything special or necessary to read. I believe I have seen the film, but I'd like to rewatch it anyway, so this can go. I will just watch the movie again. And then I have Hollow City, the second Miss Peregrine's by Ransom Riggs. We had 4 people say just unhaul it. Victoria said, I'm the same with Miss Peregrine's Home. I own the first 4, but I've only actually read the first one. Loved it, but can't get the motivation to keep going. So for me, I'm like, yeah, the motivation's the struggle. Circles of Flame said that I have the first 3 of Miss Peregrine's books as well and read the first 2, but I don't remember anything about Hollow City and never picked up the 3rd. I guess that says something. And Ash's Adventures in Books said, I really enjoyed the first 3 books in the Miss Peregrines, but I lost interest in the series. Reba also said, I lost interest in the series. So might as well just cut my losses, not continue on, and unhaul this one. And I can always get them from the library if I do ever decide to continue on. Then I have The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. I unhauled in January of this year. Crystal was like, Christmas books in Christmas I struggle with, and I said to myself, if I don't read it at Christmas, it was going, so I unhauled it when I did my massive unhaul in January. Have a Little Faith in Me by Sonia Hartel. Nobody commented on, so I unhauled it in January. Then I have Teacher by Gabby Stroud. This one I'm so on the fence about because I believe this is her talking about her burnout with teaching, and that's very close to home. I feel like it's going to be good, but I've made my peace with not going back into the classroom. I don't know. Would you still recommend reading it anyway? I had 2 people vote to keep this. Teacher is a very honest portrayal of what teaching can be. You'll probably emphasize with Gabby's anecdotes, which may then offer a nice closure to that chapter of your life, which was said by Cam. And Steph from Novelty Corner was, it's been a while since I read Teacher, but I did find it an interesting read back when it came out. I just realized I think I lent it to a friend and haven't seen it since. So for that, I will be keeping this one. I do think that it is important, and after following through with looking after my mental health, and especially the period of time that I was teaching, I think that Cam's right in the fact that it will be an important part of going into the closure. I don't think I'm quite ready to read it just yet. It still hits a lot of chords that I haven't emotionally dealt with yet, and would like to be in a better headspot towards my past as a teacher to pick this up. I do feel like it will be relatable, but I want to wait a little bit longer just to feel a little bit more confident before tackling this, because I'm not sure the reaction I'm gonna have to it, and just want to look after my mental health just in case. But it's not going anywhere. It will go back on my non-fiction shelf, and I will get to it eventually. I'm sorry, Ash. I have an arc of The Prison Healer by Lynette Oni. That was a astounding 7 people said keep it, and 1 was like half. That was Circles of Flame, and it was alright, nothing special, but enjoyed the reading experience. So we then had Ash's Adventures in Books saying definitely give The Prison Healer a go. It's a very quick read and it's only a trilogy. Tracy said give The Prison Healer a go. I really enjoyed it and it's a very quick read. I like this quick read stuff. Then Joanne said definitely read The Prison Healer. Good fun, easy to read series. Then Margaret Pinard, this was one that they explicitly said for the covers. Sunday Girl said I loved Prison Healer, please give it a go. Bookish KJ said I want to read The Prison Healer, we should buddy read it, and yes KJ, we absolutely should. I just have made a priority to try not start too many series this year, so that's why I've actually been sitting on it. It's not because I don't want to, it's the fact that it's a first in a series. So let's do a buddy read and see when we get to it. And then Amy was speaking on behalf of Danielle from Bookara, being like Danielle is obsessed with The Prison Healer now, so I'm sure she'll have something to say about that one. So I'm gonna count that as a vote from Amy's / Danielle. And so this will be staying. Then we have 2.5 Our Crate books. So the first I have is The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu. We had 3 saying get rid of it. So Marlene said of these I only read The Kingdom Back, which was a solid meh. It's a very young YA in my opinion, so if that bothers you, maybe don't try it. And the mix of historical fiction with fairy tale vibes didn't really work that well for me. As someone into classical music, I did like that a lot of it was based on the actual history of the Mozart, but if that's not your thing, I think you might not get much out of it. Reba said, I didn't really enjoy Kingdom of Back. I did the audiobook because I heard amazing things, but I say it's not worth your time if you aren't a big music person. And Amy from A Star Reads said, I know that I really want to read Kingdom of Back, but if it doesn't sound like a good fit, maybe chuck it. So it's being unhauled. My god, my camera battery is gonna die. Fuck. The next is Witches Steeped in Gold by Sian Smart. It was very entertaining because there was 2 people to get rid of it. So when the unhaul came around for January, it went. Their comments were from Seggy60. I got 256 pages in and ended up DNFing it. The writing really wasn't for me and not a whole lot was explained. I wouldn't recommend it personally, which like you got nearly halfway. Circle of Flame said I was so excited for Witches, but I just found it to be a bit meh. And then the final book I have, The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. We had 3 to keep it, 1 against, and Pop the Butterfly said tried twice but is going to try again. So I take that as like a recommendation that they're still going to keep going with it. Bookish Gems said I really enjoyed The Gilded Wolves and I've read it twice. Some people are disappointed by it and I think it's because it gets compared to Six of Crows a lot, but I thought it was great. I haven't read Six of Crows yet. Seggy60 said I also really disliked The Gilded Wolves too. Very confusing and just a meh storyline. Margaret Bernard said keep it because of the cover. Bookish KJ said keep The Gilded Wolves. I love that series so much. And I know Cara from Bianca Reads would also kill me if I unhauled it. So in all technicality, these are all being unhauled. Beautiful Darkness is going to my parents' place, and then depending how I go with the rest of the series, that will either be unhauled from there or I'll just keep it at my parents' place, but the rest are just going. I have a 6-month curfew on Sunday and I'm keeping these 3. 1 for a better mental state, and these are both starts of series, so I wasn't making that a priority, but doing a buddy read will probably help for those sometime in the future. I'm really happy with that collection of books and what I'm getting rid of and what are staying in my collection. I'm very excited to get to those 3 eventually. With that, I will have the follow-up video for this year's self-destructs. So if you want to be able to comment and tell me what ones I should be keeping, I'm going to be doing 5 standalones and then 7 books that are parts of series. So I'll explain more in that video, but keep your eyes tuned on Friday for that one. And let me know in the comments, is there any that I've made a mistake on? If you didn't get to see the original video, let me know. Or if you're happy with my choices. If you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. And I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!